Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my brothers and sisters world over, whatever part of the world you are, and you have joined us this afternoon. It's about 42 minutes past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We took a little extra time because Facebook was having some difficulty, and we got to speak to the headquarter directly because we wanted to go live along with the webinar right over here on the Zoom. So now we are connected world over, and I'm so grateful to Facebook people also and Zoom people also, and connecting the entire thing. So all my brothers and sisters, whatever part of the world you are, take care of your health, take care of your wellness, do some yoga, meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, eat good food, eat healthy food, think positive, live positive, talk positive, walk positive, dream positive, and sleep positive. That is the way we have to take care of it. This afternoon, it's a proud privilege. It's the 86th webinar. That's a Monday, 10th of August in the afternoon, making education relevant. आइए शिक्षा को प्रासंगिक बनाएं. It's a global confluence of educators, teachers, motivators, counselors, technocrats from the world over. They join us for this particular program, and at the same time, as our chamber is responsible for non-resident Indians world over, and we have the linkages over there, we extend a very hearty welcome this afternoon to our distinguished guest, Dr. Jibon Kumar, who is a professor at the Manipur Institute of Management Studies, Manipur Central University. We extend him a very hearty welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me roll quickly few slides before I hand over to you to our distinguished guest of today. Our chamber, ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, it is having a linkage, government, corporate, non-resident Indians world over. When we talk about, it's a link between India and world over with the non-resident Indians services sector. There's a lockdown, there's a coronavirus. At this point of time, the thought processes are affected, business is affected, physical and mental health is affected, and at the same time, the main part of the universe, that is education, is also deeply affected. 1.6 billion children are away at present. That's what is the UNESCO report, and that's what UNESCO has given, that the youth, children, roughly, from schools, colleges, institutions, polytechnics, ITIs, and whatsoever we can think of, they all are away from their educational hub world over. We only pray to Almighty that everything should be fine. India always believes in, it is a global family. That means Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One world, one love, one family, all of us together wherever we are. And the wonderful news which has come from India, India's Prime Minister, India's Cabinet, and what was earlier Ministry of HRD, now it's a Ministry of Education, the new education policy, a new document, and of course in the school education, higher education, technical education, vocational skills, competencies, and coding, and at the same time internship, and doing children all practical world over, with that kind of a collaboration, celebration, and jubilation. The good news is that the new education policy has recommended, and government has wholeheartedly accepted, that 6% of the GDP to be spent on education, because education is the base of human development. Ladies and gentlemen, we started this humble journey on 5th of June on the World Environment Day, that is making education relevant. And when we talk about this, all the stakeholders from the world over, we have brought together all schools, colleges, institutions, wherever you are, and slowly and gradually, we are getting into a different mode now, digital mode, flip mode, blended learning, outside the classroom, outside the bricks, and so much is happening. Why did we start this journey on 5th of June? There's a logic, there's a reason, and there's a philosophy behind the entire strategy. World Environment Day on 5th of June, when we got the reports of our chamber from different places, from the world over, the research has shown that the next crisis world over and the misunderstanding globally is going to be on the water crisis, water management, water sharing, water conservation. And imagine, if you have seen the program just about 4, 5, or 6 days back, the DNA which comes with Sudhir Chaudhary, That is on the Z television at 9 p.m. If you have not seen it, I would request you do see that program where he has discussed the entire 40 minutes he has dedicated to water conservation, and he has given the logic and a very, very detailed, horrifying kind of a thing, where he says that some of the countries, those are building up a lot of dams. They will open the dams whenever they will feel like, and they will close the dams whenever they feel like. They can flood your countries and they can drought your countries. So water conservation is very, very important for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, at present your children are at home. Let's teach them how to save every drop of water. That is something very important. Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. in the evening, we are discussing with you making education relevant. And then comes every Saturday morning, where we talk 500 plus million people world over, they are following Buddhism. So what is Buddha's teaching? And what is Buddha's teaching the relevance with today's education system? I'm grateful to International Buddhist Confederation, their Secretary General, Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya. He brings the international stakeholders. We got the lady from Australia, from Singapore, from Indonesia. They all came just, that is this Saturday, which has gone by. And Saturday evening, we discussed with you, that is on Ayurveda for the global wellness, yoga, meditation, naturopathy, organic, nutrition, and that is something very important for all of us, which we discuss. And then comes Sunday morning, where we have got a very special India's ancient history, India's epics, and what is their role and what is their relevance and what do we get from them in today's education system, that 5,000-year-old culture, when we talk about all that is being taken over there. And then comes Saturday, and then Sunday evening. Sunday evening, we have got at 5 p.m. India ASEAN series, very, very important for all of us, where we discuss, and of course, Northeast India has got a very special reference of that. This morning, you all met at 8:45 a.m. Dr. Palin from Manipur, who is a legend, and he's a person who is so dedicated to his profession. Whenever I meet him and greet him and eat with him and talk with him, he is a wonderful soul. 12th of August, world over, the United Nations has declared this as a World Youth Day. All of us, we get together Wednesday, 12th of August. And if I talk in the global terms, 100,000 youth. And if I talk in Indian terms, 1 lakh youth on Wednesday, 12th of August, from morning 9 a.m. to evening 9 p.m. They will be together on a common platform, 12 hours non-stop celebrations and jubilations, where we would like to listen to the youth and they would give their commendable inputs. So from world over, as you all are watching, you give the names, give the details, the people to whom you want to get into the panel, the youth, those want to talk. It would be more than happiness for all of us to have work on and to take that agenda forward. Now, 25th of March onward till 31st of July, this is the Golden Triangle. Earlier we used to call it Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, but now this is the Golden Triangle, which we have got from the coronavirus, which we have got from the pandemic, and B2B, what was known earlier business to business, now it should be termed as back to basics. And when we talk about back to basics, ladies and gentlemen, consume what is minimum essential for your body. If India has to become self-reliant, our consumption has to be what body needs minimum. That's what we should consume. So agriculture, food, animal husbandry, all that we have to take care of because your basic food. And I'm very happy that we have started growing a lot of nutritious organic vegetables right in my residence, on the rooftop, in my kitchen garden, all the places, and taste is altogether different. It's so nutritious for the body, you just can't imagine about it. At the same time, you got to think positive, you got to talk positive, you got to live positive, you got to dream positive, and all the time positivity has to come. Your health and happiness and herbal and wellness is very important for all of us. Coming to the third part of the triangle, education will never ever get back to what it used to be in January and February. it's going to be digital. The technology nobody can stop. It was to come after a few years. It has come before time. Corona has brought it a little before time. So sustainable development, and that's what we talk about. And this is the last slide, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to share with all of you. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe. This is very important statement, and our chamber works on that. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together, make education relevant. It's a global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, and counselors. All of us, let's come together. And ICSI extends you a very warm welcome. I know most of the foreigners, they prefer to join on the Facebook. No worries. We are on the Facebook also. Come on Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page, and all of us together, we can take it. Should you wish to be a panelist or send any suggestion, write to us at innovation@icsi.asia. Should you wish to send any WhatsApp, you're more than welcome. Both the numbers are listed over here. And with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me drop the curtains like it happens in the media entertainment industry and get the celebrity of the evening, Dr. Jibon Kumar from Manipur, who is with us to share his thought process and his vision and what all is to be done with the new education policy. Focus is northeast part of India. Focus is the development, whatsoever can be done in northeast part of India. Let's talk about it and let's take the vision ahead.
Thank you, Gulshanji. That was really wonderful. And I take this opportunity to thank ICSI for inviting me. And yesterday, I got the invitation. Thank you very much. And education for me is just like a journey. So I will just share whatever the imprints or the experiences that I had through my becoming a teacher and also as a student. So when I was a student, I was studying in all part of India. I was in last year, I was studying in Delhi. There's a school called Badars International School. I was studying there. So various part of India, I was studying south, north, like that. And then when I came to college, again, I was studying in different parts of India. And BHU, IIM Ahmedabad and all, this by there. And then I had the opportunity to again go for scholarship in one of the university in Thailand called Mahidol University. There was an exchange program. So I have some idea through these experiences about the journey that is the education. And yeah, regarding this computer and also IT, that was way back. I did my engineering in computer science. That was way back in 1980s time. That was the time when India started the digital revolution, computers and all that. The funny part is that when I opted for computer engineering, many people stopped me. Don't go for that. Okay, that was a time. Yeah, because what is the use of this computer? Because people were preferring this civil engineering and all that. I was considered to be crazy at the time. So I remember I and one of my friends from Manipur, we were the first to go for computer engineering. We went and did it. so that is interesting. And also, regarding a bit about computer, I always say this, I love to say this to my students, that whatever you are, you may be a panwala also, you may be a dukanwala, you may be somebody who's selling vegetable, you may be rickshawala, autowala, you may be pilot, you may be engineer, you may be anybody. It's okay if you don't know something. But if there is something you don't know, that is what IT will do to your life in the future, you may be totally taken by surprise, and you should be prepared for that. And there is no escape from this. I love to give you an example. Say, for example, a rickshawala having a WhatsApp, you might call him, right? A vegetable wala like that, And your business, because of some revolution in information technology, may be totally replaced. Because I have been seeing this from the ITs, then I saw the Microsoft's Bill Gates coming in, Steve Jobs coming in, and the birth of Facebook, and the whole throughout journey. And also I was telling during the time when during 1990s time that one day your computer will go to the pocket. Now computer is in the pocket, you know. Now, and so so that is an interesting part. So information technology is very, very important. Yeah, information technology literacy is so important. And also, but one thing is there. Since I started this, so computer engineering is one part, management is another part, you know. So luckily, when I started this computer engineering, I saw these big computers. That time we were Windows was not there. We were working on Unix platform. In 90s time, we saw Windows and then all the desktop, and now we have the laptop and laptop mobile phone, and now some kind of saturation is there because all mobile phones are looking similar now. Product is maturing because during the 2000, if you see 2001 2, every mobile phone used to look different. Now all the mobile phones look similar. So there you find present maturity there. So that is my thinking on computing. And also, you know, the speed of computing will keep on increasing because as per Moore's law, the processing speed gets double every 1 year to 18 months. So if you can just predict, you know, if it is 2, it will be 4 next year, then 8, 16, 32, 64, 10, like that, you know, it goes on like this. Within 5 years time, it will be so big, you know. So miniaturization and things becoming smaller and smaller will go on. Yeah, IT is there. Nevertheless, I started as a technocrat, but I always believe that technology is not there to replace man. Technology is there to supplement us. Technology is there to, you know, and also we are having this virtual connection. It is not to replace our man-to-man or man-to-woman meeting in physical dimension, but it is to supplement. Say, I met Gulshan ji sometimes back. I was sitting in his room also. We were having chit chat together. So now I meet him with this through this technology. But you know that, again through this technology, at the end of the day, we may say, we should catch up sometime like that. We should meet there in Delhi. We should meet there in Manipur or something like that. So this is a bridge, you know. It's not going to replace our, you know, handshaking and all that. Definitely, we man are man. Definitely, we like to touch, you know, all the sense. You like to feel people with all the 6 senses, but the technology will be there to complement it, not to replace it. And then, you know, but you know, this is helping. This bridge is helping to enhance the connectivity. That is what I believe. So now, coming to this technology, of course, people talk a lot about coding. Yes, I believe so. You know, because you know, during the time when 80s time when we started, you know, there were all kind of computer programming languages were there. There were many, and also we used to think that when you learn different computer programming languages, we used to feel like a linguist, you know, as if you know so many languages, right? And the artificial intelligence, I remember, started, you know, in 80s time. There was a programming called Lisp and Prolog and all that. The wave was there, and I was wondering how it became dull. And suddenly you find AI, you know, in the last 2-3 years, people talk a lot about artificial intelligence. I asked this question to many people: why this sudden boom in AI? Because I saw that already in 80s time, people talk a lot about artificial intelligence, but after some time it stopped. So I believe that it is because of the, you know, the computing. You know, we can crunch more data now, billions of bytes in, you know, less time. That is one. And the use of mathematics. I would like to encourage, you know, one thing. In India, we were known as a country who introduced zero. We should be very good in mathematics. Computing, you know, we should encourage mathematics. That is very, very, very important. Number one, mathematics, you know, mathematics should be encouraged because the basic, you know, mathematics, statistics, and all this knowledge, you know, when you have this knowledge, computing will come and go. You have different shapes of computer. You may have Zoom, you may have something else later on, but the fundamentals should be, you know, the mathematics is so important, you know. I always feel that, and then luckily at this time we had a film that was Sakuntala Devi, which was released, you know. So I always encourage people learn mathematics, you know, it's very, very important, you know, at least learn how to do calculations, you know, without using these computers and use the computers and all that, And also another thing is that you should have very good concept of mathematics. Now all the calculation part will be done by the computer, but what is the calculation telling about? So the language of mathematics is so important, because you said that 6%, education 6%, I believe that we talk in two language. Communication is so important. Communication is very, very important, I believe. I even, that is my personal opinion. Barack Obama became president of USA because of communication skill. Uh, I have this belief that, how he came because of sheer communication skill. But to communicate, this communication skill is so important, so important. Later on, I'll come to that. One is how to express yourself. And for this, you use ideas and words and all that. So we should learn how to use that. And it takes a lifetime. And one should start taking interest in that, because I see many people learning English language for the last 30 years or 40 years sometimes, but they are not comfortable. I ask this question, why? See, why it takes so many years to learn a language? Sometimes some people can learn in 3 years' time, because we have this English medium school. See, when I studied in Mothers International, it is an English medium school in Delhi. And there, some people are very good. And after some time, after masters also, after engineering, after learning English so many times, but why people are not comfortable? Because, that may be because of observation. You may not be observing the language properly. We are simply assuming. We are not observing. We must have read text, millions and millions of texts. Why we are not comfortable? So this is one area where it may be our English or Hindi or whatever language, but English, is good, because English is the global language. Suppose if I don't know English language, just because I know English language, I Google many things, and then I get to it so many things. If I don't know it, somebody has to translate it. Those many texts, somebody has to translate it again and again. Like a Japanese may have a problem, because I was listening to Kenichi Ohana talking with Alvin Toffler, that he would like to translate one of his book, The Third Wave, for the Japanese audience. That's years back I saw this interview. That struck me, because Japanese cannot read this Alvin Toffler's Third Wave, but since people can understand English, they can read it. So that is an advantage. We should have it. We should encourage, because whether we like it or not, but knowing that opens to so many other avenues. That is what I believe. Another one is that number. We also talk to number, because number shortcuts many things. Like when Gulshanji talk about 6% of GDP. If you understand 6%, what do you understand GDP? This 6% is a very powerful 6%, because there goes thousands and thousands of calculations to come to this 6%. If India is growing by 5%, what is that? China had been growing by 10%. What is that? Okay, that 10% means that, okay, many communication has been passed just like a bullet, Oh yeah, with that number, we can understand that. So these two things, how to express ourselves, and also the numbers. We express through concepts and ideas, and we express through numbers, like, your telephone number, how high you are, how low you are, GDP, GNP numbers, how to dance with the number. And the other one is how to say things properly. Of course, politeness. Yeah. Another one which I would like to highlight, which I would like to talk about is that of course, Gulshanji, we have met sometime, but I admire you because you are a very jolly and happy person. I was Gulshan Sharma, when I say, oh, it must be him only, because I sat in your room and we were having, talking that night, and 2-3 times we met. So another thing, if we talk of India as a nation, one thing which I always feel is that every education, whether it's school or college or university, should encourage one thing, that is politeness. We should be very polite, very polite, very, very polite. See, when you say thank you, gratitude, we're talking about positive thinking. Say things positive instead of criticizing. It's very easy to criticize. We can even criticize Bill Gates. I can criticize Bill Gates, But it takes a lifetime to learn. So look at the positive of him. Why to look at the negative? Look at the positive. So politeness, and also here the media, elders, and all, they play a big role. When you switch on the television, you just look at the news. How they shout at each other. That is something that will be heard by the children, and ultimately they will pass on to their parents also. Mere ko kyun paida kiya? So I always feel very strongly that politeness should be taught. I'm not telling that you bring rocket science and all that. I'm telling very simple thing which we can practice from just now. So whenever I deliver lecture for the school or for the college teachers also come, I always say one thing, every lecture, in every class, even in my class, that one is politeness, the other one is health. It's two things, Politeness, we should be polite, because, why there is so much of division is because of the way we talk. Suppose if without, any physical things, the way you say things, you can really make a person happy or sad, So that is why we should inculcate this politeness culture, respect culture in our country. Then only there will be team, then there will be people will come together. When we shout at each other, there's a lot of division. So every school, colleges, and education, they should encourage this politeness culture. And another thing is that, though it may not be, whatever education policy we have, but one thing is there, we should also inculcate this role of ethics, moral and ethics, right from the school. And the ethics and moral should be assessed as a practice. It should be, if I have to establish, if I'm given the freedom, it will be 50% ethics and the moral, and the rest will be other subjects only. Because you see here, and attitude and all this come here. Attitude, positive attitude, ethics, and then, all these things here. What I'm saying here now is that, even I'm coming to the example of this pandemic also. We can save this world in 1 minute if everyone practice this thing. Everyone. See, one thing. Okay, I'm coming to that. But what I'm saying is that, ethics and then your moral. I'm not talking about religious and all that, but moral, ethics, and also good behavior. This should be properly assessed, and good encouragement from the school system. What is very dangerous is brilliance can be very, very dangerous. Brilliance with negative attitude can be very dangerous. A brilliant mind with a very negative attitude may do more harm. Right? Because, a brilliant mind with a very negative attitude may be more harmful. And then we are not assessing the negative attitude, but we are assessing the brilliance only, and we are just promoting everyone like that, So we are not assessing the attitude, we are not assessing the ethics dimension, we are not assessing the moral dimension. Suppose if ethics, moral, and all these things are there, then good human, good person will become leader, good person will be leading us. So this is very, very important, and I find that, it is just mentioned only, but it should be really encouraged, it should be really assessed, and there should be dimensions and metrics, like ethics metrics, and then whether you have, how many people you have helped today, how many people you have talked nicely today, like this kind of a thing, have you had gratitude, practice of gratitude and all that, even gratitude was healing people. Just now I was reading about a singer, she got died, she had a problem with Orlando Bloom, that star, and it was gratitude that saved her, saying thank you, like thank you. And Gulshan ji must be knowing, since you talk of positivity and all that, gratitude is so important. Say thank you. If you listen to Oprah Winfrey, the moment she gets up, she say thank you so many times. Even she said thank you for the chair also, thank you for the brush also, because the most powerful, what is very, very important now, the most powerful weapon for ultimately here, what is very important is self-love. Of course, you mentioned that. Self-love. Self-love is a new concept that may be more powerful than computer interviews. Self-love, self-love, love yourself. Self-love, take care of your body. You know, you're talking about organic and all that. Take care of your body. Self-love is so important. And love for others. Self-love and love for others. If everyone practice that, there will be no corona. You see here, because why I'm saying that, suppose if I don't love myself, I might be, if I don't take care of myself, in the name of caring I say others, I go on and take care of others. I might be infecting others. I might be doing more harm to them. So I should take care of myself. I should have this self-love. And also, just because, you know, I'm content and all that, people are having starving and all these things, you know, I just look at them, you know, ultimately, you know, this will come to us also. This will come to us, you know, people are starving. You see here, I always tell in my community also, you know, okay, fine, we should take care of ourselves, but now we should take care of others. You can have this ABC analysis, categorize people into A class, B class, C class, like that. You can put me in A class, no problem. I'll give you money. Okay, fine. You maybe 3,000, 4,000, whatever it is, you know, you collect from the A class and see the C class who is starving, you know, let us distribute to them. And then let us practice this. We don't have to go to the, you know, for media or Facebook upload and all that. You just do that unseen, you know. Okay, don't know him. Okay, fine. You don't know the person. Okay, fine. Just you feel happy that you're giving back. And we should always, the practice of giving back and all this self-love and love for others and all that. Now, Gulshanji, just tell me if, you know, how much time I have left and all these things so that I cut short.
All up to you. All up to you. This is your time.
Okay, okay.
This
Thank you very much.
is my
Now,
word.
this is something I always feel very strongly. I always feel very strongly. Now, coming to this education, really, I have been in search of the meaning of education or what we should do. To just give you some example, when I joined in, you know, 1990s, I did my MBA. I was working in a British company that is ICI, called Imperial Chemical Industries. I was a manager there, and I wanted to be in the corporate world that time. After computer engineering, I was working in a software firm. Then I did my MBA. Then I again worked in the company. And then I was more of a corporate guy. So now the pool of this university came, and all the parental things and all that, they were there. All the pull factors were there. I didn't want to leave my job. Actually, I refused for 2 months. I don't want to come back. You know, I'm happy there in the corporate world. I love the work because I want to work fast, you know, like that. That was my attitude, you know. I don't want to go slow like this, you know. But anyway, I came back. And I wanted to turn my students into corporate people because I teach MBAs and all that. You know, corporate people go for multinational and all that. Later on, I changed. If you find, say, 2000 and around this, you know, 2000, you know, 2000 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I was telling them to become entrepreneur. Now, in the last few days, in the last few years, I have totally changed. I'm telling them that you be anything. In the last 5, 6 years, I have changed. You be anything, but whatever you do, if you are striving for excellence, that is the secret of success. The success for me is not that you become corporate or you corporate man or you become an entrepreneur. You may be anything. You may be simply seller. You may be doing rain harvesting there. You may be doing a farmer there, but you're doing it with passion. You find happiness there, and you're excelling there. You're excelling there. You're able to put in your best efforts there. If you can do that, for me, that is success. That is what I tell them. You know, excellence. Strive for excellence. Whatever you do, strive for excellence. That is my message to my students. My message have changed, you know, from the last. My message have changed, and definitely, it's very, very important that the youth should be very healthy, very, very healthy. Like, you know, health is very, very important for me. Health is very, very important for people. So I always tell that at least you should devote, out of 24 hours, you should devote at least 1 hour for health. 1 hour for health. And the most important, you know, you see, why I'm talking about health. It's in every lecture, I will always end with health. My students know, everybody knows that. Mind, body, spiritual health. Always. always, every lecture. Without mentioning that, I will not skip a lecture. And of course, now with this politeness also, be polite, message the politeness, so that it spreads, it spreads, So now why I'm saying about health is that, the most, what is the most precious thing for a person? The most precious thing that a person can own, maybe you might be thinking that maybe house, it may be big bungalow, it may be big car, it may be aeroplane, or maybe billions of dollars, whatever, for a very stinking rich person. But for me, what I'm saying is that, okay, many people also said that, some people have said it also, that the most valuable thing to us or to you is given for free. The most valuable thing is our body and our mind, and they are given free. They don't have any costs. They are given free to us. And this is the most valuable. And that is why how we need to use our mind and how we need to use our body, this is very, very, very important. If we are not taking care of our body, if we are not taking care of mind, then how can we take care of the world and all that? I see many corporate people, they are not taking care of their body and all that. And some CEO died young and all that. I always think that they should have taken care of their health instead of earning more. Maybe they could have earned more had they taken care of their health. I always think that, Bhagwan Jane. Like, So now, when I think about mind, when I say education about mind, thinking is so important. Thinking. Now, in today's time, I always think that, in today's time, the thing is, why we need to go for education is this. Some people may ask this: if you have a question, you will have an answer. If you have a question, you'll have an answer. If you don't know the answer, no problem. Not knowing is not a problem now. If you don't know the answer, you can know it. You just go to Google. You'll find the answer. If you cannot do, that is also no problem. Your ego should not come in as a barrier. You go to YouTube also, you ask somebody who knows. If I don't know, that's not a problem. I'll ask someone who knows, that's it. Then I'll come to know. Okay, now the purpose of education is like, we should encourage people to ask questions. Ask questions, I have found out that, it's very, very, it's very, very difficult to really control our mind sometimes, and I got a trick also. That means, suppose we are talking about happiness, don't focus on this and all that, but our mind go here and there like this. But the way to rein our mind is, if you put a question to our mind, how do I learn this thing? How do I be very good in information technology? What makes me happy? Or something like that. We ask to ourselves. Our mind will start digesting, looking for answers and all that. We become more focused. So the thing is, I know when we ask a question, then our mind becomes so focused, so interesting, Then, so now, we should encourage students, we should encourage education to question, to ask, question. Because, if you have a question, you'll get an answer. But the purpose of education is that, what is my question? What question should I ask? You just put it in Google. Google will not tell you that. Google will not tell you that. But if you have a question, where is Canada? Google will tell you that. But what is my question? Google will not tell you that. So that is something, that is your originality. And education should really encourage, questioning, re-questioning, questioning, and then, and also questioning and re-questioning. It may be what, where, when, how, all this stuff, So thinking, that is there. That is, thinking is so important. And then, now, then again, Gulshanji must be having, when you talk of positive thinking and all that, the problem is that, we need to think positive. The children also should learn to think positive, because, when you are thinking positive, we talk of happiness, one is that happiness. What makes us happy? we talk of happiness. Yeah, this is what makes us happy. When I ask this question to people and all that, what makes us happy? Many answers are there, like if I'm satisfied, I'm happy. If I wish is fulfilled, I'm happy. So many there. You know, it's very simple. It's very, in today's time, it's very important to be happy, but it's not all this, because well-to-do people also have committed suicide. Okay, people who have lots of money also have committed suicide. What makes us happy is the thought that makes us happy. So if you're thinking of positive thoughts, then they will make you happy. If you're thinking of negative thought, then you become sad. The thing is now how to control our mind, so that we don't think negative, so that we always think positive, But another thing which is very, very important, many a time in communication or anything, I tell my student that, the problem with negative thought is that one negative thought calls another negative thought. Then you become sad and depressed. And then one positive thought will call another positive thought. Then you think of possibilities. Okay. When we look at this webinar or any kind of communication, meeting people and all that, when we look at the positive side, how nice it is, this brings us possibilities and all that, that is so important. So this thinking, because, so many, I find, interestingly, in the last few months or so, I find so many, YouTube or people share on WhatsApps and all that, some very interesting thoughts like that, like, the power of positive thinking and all that. What they say is that, our cells are like electricity, like it has got balls. I was listening to one professor the other day, our like balls, and our head is our head of department, and then it can be charged and negative or positive. It all depends upon our mind, One very famous professor from America, it was Lipton. Yeah, Professor Lipton was talking about it. He's a biologist. Yeah. He was talking about it. So really,
he has got a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yes. I was listening to one. I shared to many people. The way he explained is so nice. Yeah, that's it. So that is why I was, Gulshanji, I also, lectured on the startup programs. I talked to many would-be entrepreneurs and many entrepreneurs also. I asked them several questions. One of the problem that people have, and one thing that our children, our people should have is they should have a clear focus, what they want to become, the objective. Just like in Mahabharata, Arjuna, like that, Arjuna, kya dekha hai? Masli ka aankh dekha hai. You have that focus, So what you want to become should be very clear. So that is a problem I find, that in the education system, the students, should know what is their objective of life. It may be career objective. What is your objective? They may not get it in 5 minutes time, but you should know your objective and it should be clear. If you're not clear about where you are going, you will go anywhere. So very simple, but clarity of objective. And again, the MBAs, and then when they go to university, what people do is that people copy each other objectives. That's it. I saw that in IM also. Like, you have got a good objective. Okay, I'll see her like that. So that is one. We should be very clear about our objective, and also, and there are also many philosophies I have read and all that. This should be the difference, what I find about these great people, about this, you should believe in the objective. Say, for example, I saw this Bill Gates, 90s time. He left Harvard. Why he left Harvard? The question, because I didn't have to read from the book, but I saw him, there. It was there 1990s time. That was the time, 95, 93, like that, that time Windows was there, PC came like that. It was Unix, then replaced by, if you read at the news at the time, you'll come across that one. So now, like people like Steve, I saw Bill Gates coming, and then some companies like Motorola. Motorola was considered to be very good during 80s time. Any engineering graduate who is considered brilliant, we used to call him, you're a Motorola. Like they were very good in chips and all that, you know, and transistors and all this thing. So that is there, and then Motorola is there, and Steve Jobs coming back again. Okay, and then Facebook's we saw that Facebook, you know, Mark Zuckerberg around 2003, 4 like that. There was MySpace before. MySpace was another social media. Then again, Facebook there, and also you find in literatures also, it's very important to have a very clear vision, and very clear vision. It's very important to have a clear objective. But one difference I find amongst these people is that they believe in their vision so much that they literally live there. I find this thing. So you should be able to touch your, you know, that is why imagination I was talking about. You should be able to touch your objective. The objective is there. You should be able to touch it.
Remember our last slide, which I had shown you?
Yeah.
Whatever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve.
There was a wow moment, you know. After board mold, yeah, we were on the same page. Oh my God, it's so nice, like just like you were showing some of my slides also. so I found this, you know, when Bill Gates left Harvard. Why he left Harvard? See, I tell that he became a billionaire. He became a billionaire before establishing a
your
company.
Volume has gone down. Your volume has gone down. Volume.
Okay.
Volume.
Okay.
Yeah, people are watching world over, so volume. It's coming so natural. Yes.
Is it now? Is it okay?
Little better. If you can increase further, I'll be very happy.
Is it okay?
Thank you.
Okay, this is a maximum. Yeah. So now, this is some of the last thing I would like to tell is that what I find is that Bill Gates.
You mentioned having clear vision.
Yes. Bill Gates had a very clear vision. He had a very clear objective. Why he left Harvard? And this guy, without any money in the pocket, he left Harvard. He wanted to establish Microsoft. He was like a billionaire. He already became a billionaire. That was his vision, because he was so clear. He already lived like a billionaire. Means your object, you should be very sure about your objective, that you should be able to feel the objective. You should be able to feel the good vibes that of achieving it, you know. Then all the hard work, you know, is just like, you know, just play only. I saw this thing with Mark Zuckerberg also. Mark Zuckerberg, especially with the Facebook, when he heard about the like button, when you press like, you know, that was a wow moment for him. He was literally rushing, and then for so many days he didn't go out of his room, and he was coding like that. So this is somebody people who are living in this in his dream, you know. It was not a dream, but he was living there. He was seeing that. He was seeing that billions of people already, you know, using that. Okay, so like, you know, so our vision, our objective should be such that it should be so clear. It should be so clear that when we set objective, we should be able to feel it. And this is one thing I found with many great entrepreneurs. Even Gulshanji also, you may have many experiences like that. You know, now you have these big associations. You know, you could feel that. You know, I found this with many great people, that they could feel it. They could feel their objective. You know, so this may be maybe things. You know, like say for example, you're thinking. You know, positive thinking. You know, like politeness, and then you should have the ecosystem. India need to have the ecosystem for positive thinking. Like Bhutan, they have done it. Like, you know, in Thailand, you know, King Rama IX of Thailand, he did a very great job. You know, for the last 50 years or so, he was developing Thailand. King Ramanand, who passed away in 2017. Really people worship him, but he did a great job. We have an ecosystem like Thai culture. Everyone smile. Like I found every one of them smiled. My God, I told them, that smile must be translating into billions of dollars. I said that, for the economy. It is very simple thing. Very simple thing. So we are Atiti Deva Bhava. We have this culture. So receiving and then politeness and bade long se aisa baat nahi karte, maa se aisa baat karte, pitaji se aisa baat karte. We have this culture. So this should be transferred to friends, and we should have this culture of giving respect. When we talk with respect with elders, and also with our peers and all this thing, then that closeness, that close proximity, and also this is so important. It's very, very simple, politeness, and also education. Just in this in the education system, there should be ethics, right? Yeah, and also we should have a quality culture like India. Make in India. We should be proud of making India as a quality product, like Japan. They had this quality revolution during 70s, right? Quality revolution. Like made in Japan, made in India should be a wow. Like we should be known for our quality. Made in India should be the last word. Okay, fine. Made in India means yes. You don't have to ask another question like that. So that thing, this ethics is so important. See, if you ask, lastly, I'd like to say that if you ask any businessman, would you like to recruit ethical people or unethical people? They will always say ethical people. As an employee, would you like to work in an ethical organization or ethical organization? They would like. Ask the customer, would you like to buy from an ethical company or unethical company? Ethical company. But why people buy from unethical company? Because they don't know. They don't know whether it's ethical or not. Because why you selected unethical people? We don't know, because we found him to be. We thought that he's very ethical. That's why. But the time for information technology. Lastly, I'd like to say a few things since I have been here. Information technology makes people very democratic. There are no walls there. Suppose I always joke this thing that we have a State Bank of India in our university. If the President of America wants to open a State Bank of India, wants to open an account at State Bank of India, what will happen? Oh, even the bank will go, sir, very happy, like there will be so much of media and all that. Okay, if the President of America wants to open a Gmail account, what will you do? It's the same, So it's the same, So, in the digital world, there are no walls, but things will go digital. The thing about digital is transparency. It will become more and more transparent. It's a time for good people. I always see good things like, see, many people used to do good jobs, good work. Not many people knew about it, but it will become transparent. See, why people do unethical things? People do unethical things with the knowledge that people will not know. But now the world is becoming more and more transparent because of IT. Now people will know. So instead of doing bad things, people will know, because you were thinking that you were doing bad thing because you thought people will not know. People will know now. Okay. If you look at corruption and all that, nobody says that I'm corrupt, because nobody says that I'm corrupt. Because why he is corrupt? Because people don't know. People will know because more transparency. There will be footprint. Digital footprint will be there. And also, if you're doing good job, people will also know that. More and more people will also know that. So it's always good to do good now. Okay. So that is the whole thing I would like to say in a nutshell. Thank you very much, Gulshan ji, for giving me this opportunity.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, to see you after such a long time.
Thank you.
I pray to Almighty that everybody in Manipur, everybody in northeast part of India, it's a beautiful place, it's a beautiful region, it's a beautiful area of India. And I always tell in my lectures in the evening, 7 to 8 p.m., you can see me on the live. We
Okay.
get the global faculty, we get the global people every day, 7 to 8 p.m. And there
Okay.
I say only one thing, that in the next birth, I will be born in northeast part of India. And people always say, why is it so? I said, because I started my life from northeast in 1973 when I got into the army, and I
Okay.
got my first uniform, my first salary, my
Uh-huh.
first rank, my everything was from the northeast.
Oh,
And
lovely, lovely.
beautiful place. And you are doing such a yeoman service, and you are having such a uh, versatile experience, and so much in such a simple words you conveyed to everybody, and small things you touched, but they are so important for the entire ecosystem of the education today for the youth. So I
Yes.
pray to Almighty all the good days for you, all the good days for everybody in Manipur, all the good days for everyone in Northeast, and at the same time, world over, wherever the people have joined, please do visit when the Corona virus period gets over. Please do visit Northeast part of India. It's a heaven on earth. It's a beautiful place. People are so simple, so nice, so decent, so courteous. And don't forget, as he mentioned, when the courtesy you talk about, say thank you, thank you, thank you. That's something is very important. I'm so grateful to you. Thanks for joining us. And
Yeah.
while leaving, finally, would you like to give any message to the entire education fraternity and the youth of the world?
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Gulshan ji. I'm a learner. I also keep learning. I'm just sharing my experience. But I was just focusing on this mind, this small, this aspect. You were talking about Southeast Asia and all that some other time, because because
We'll
that
take on,
will be
we will
yeah.
do one separate session on that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I always say that, if you want to understand Manipur, Northeast, if you want to understand Manipur, first understand European Union. People go crazy. Why? Because you see here, these are, because, ASEAN is ASEAN are trying to replicate,
Yes.
European Union. And the birth of Sangun countries and all this, they were borderless world and all that, stuff like that, this is something whose time has come, we cannot ignore. So that is some other dimension. Sorry that's why I didn't touch upon that. Okay, that one, because that will really go to another trajectory. But education, yeah, thank you. It's about about our mind, body, health, to make us happy, and also it's also education has taught one thing, that is the power of love. The power of love. The most powerful weapon in the world is not nuclear bomb. The most powerful weapon in the world is love, because it is through love only we are here. Without love, there will be nothing. So we are doing this webinar, Gulshanji is telling, because he has got so much of empathy, like in what way this message or some kind of learning will be there. Like this is this is how much you have this love for others. That's why you are doing. So even the chair I'm sitting on is through somebody's effort I'm here. So now everything is love. So now, so it's better to love each other and also find ways to love each other and say nice things about each other. And this is something that education should bring about. And then you see, we have seen the pandemic, and there's so many things, wishes that, you should have countries are telling that, okay, you should have disclosed faster, or you have all kind of things are there. But imagine, even in this pandemic, from the origination, if the love is there, if the love for humanity, if the love for humankind of all over the world is there, I think the impact of pandemic also would be very, very less.
Thank
That
you.
is what thank you, sir. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining this evening. And please take care of yourself, take care of everybody whosoever is associated with you.
Thank
And we
you.
wish everybody in the beautiful state of Manipur everything nice, everything good. People remember Subhash Chandra Bose. People
Yes.
remember how everything, and Loktak Lake for
Yes.
your floating islands and everything. So much we enjoyed. It's a
Yes, yes.
beautiful state, and look forward meeting all of you. May
Thank you.
God bless the entire universe. May God bless Manipur, Northeast, and all of us on this planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.